her 9000's game room.
Now, I have to admit to being a big fan of the Addams Family. I think it's mostly because of the fact that there is an underlining message to the show, and that is that it's okay to be different. It's okay to like things other people don't, and to think things other people don't, and to basically be yourself. That is something I have always got from the Addams Family, whether it be old cartoons, comic strips, the original TV show, the movies. That just seems to be their mantra, and the love you see between Gomez and Morticia is, to me, one of the greatest love stories ever. Probably a strange thing to talk about at the start of a SNES review, but I thought I'd get my feelings about the Addams Family themselves as characters out there first. Okay, so despite what I said about the Addams Family not being afraid to be different, the game I am talking about is a movie license turned into a platformer which felt like it was heavily inspired by the Super Mario games. So I don't think the creators really stayed true to this Addams Family spirit, really, which is a shame. The game was based on the 1991 Addams Family film. The game was both developed by and published by Ocean Software in 1992. The game was far from being a SNES exclusive. It was also released for the Master System, the Sega Mega Drive, or as our American friends would know it, the Genesis, the Amiga and the Atari ST. My first experience of playing this game was at a friend's house, and even though I guess this will give the end of the review away, I can't help but say that I ended up enjoying it enough to go and grab myself a second-hand copy. I know that the moment people hear the dreaded term movie license, they will feel this little twinge of panic, an instant "oh no, this is going to suck." And a lot of the time, that's true. Well, this is a trend that the Addams Family sort of breaks. Okay, so you play the role of Gomez Addams. All of your family, apart from Lurch and Thing, have been kidnapped. For those who don't know who Lurch is, he's the family butler, and Thing is a sentient hand who crawls around with no body. Okay, so basically, you as Gomez need to explore your mansion and its grounds so that you can find and rescue your family. You also need to help Uncle Fester regain his memory, as he has amnesia. Yeah, the story is not exactly the most amazing, but well, it's enough to base a game on, so I won't complain too much. The game might be a bit short on story, but I have to admit that I really enjoy the graphics. Yeah, they might not exactly be the best on the system, but you can certainly tell who everyone is, and I really enjoy the cartoonish look. I think it really suits the game. Gomez looks great and has some really cool little animations as he taps his feet and looks around if you stop playing and you just leave him standing there. When you put the graphics with the music, it just makes for something a little bit special, and yes, the Addams Family theme song is in there. It's even on the title screen. The game is great at sucking you in and making you want to play it, but then there is a slight problem, and the problem lies within the gameplay. So yeah, as I said earlier, the game is a typical platformer with your usual sort of platform rules. For example, if you collect 25 coins, you get an extra heart, and you can guess what happens if you collect 100. Yep, ding ding ding, that's right, you get an extra life. You kill enemies by jumping on their heads, and you can also get an upgrade that lets you shoot balls. Balls which work, well, just a little bit exactly like Mario's fireballs. Yeah, being in some ways like one of the best games ever is not a bad thing, but Addams Family lacks something the Super Mario games have, and that's the tight controls and pixel-perfect hit detection. Gomez is quite slidey, and there are lots of times when you feel certain that you timed a jump just right, and yet you still see yourself lose a heart. It's a real shame that Ocean didn't tighten up the controls and the hit detection, as even with these issues the game is still enjoyable, but it could have been even better with just a smidgen more work. The game is quite challenging and can keep you playing for a long time, but unfortunately a lot of this challenge comes from the above mentioned control issues, which means that you can get frustrated with it. There are plenty of secrets for you to go looking for, and the game is mostly non-linear. You can rescue your family in any order you like, with only one exception: you need to rescue Morticia last. I guess this review started off very positively, and it might feel like it's ending on a bit of a bum note, but the truth is that this is exactly how I found this game when I replayed it in order to write the review. One minute I was smiling at the music and the little Gomez tapping his foot, and the next minute I was inventing new swear words and turning the air a whole new shade of blue. For a movie licence, it's a great game, but for a platformer in general, it's in a much more 6.5 out of 10 territory. It's a fun game which could have been a real contender if it had gotten just a little bit more attention, if some of the collision detection and the control-based flaws had just been ironed out a little bit. Don't get me wrong, if you can get a cart of it for under £10 and you've already played the likes of Mario and want a little bit more platforming on your SNES, then go for it. It's not a bad game at all. It's just, it could have been so much more. Okay, that's Kerr9000 signing off saying keep on gaming.